Good morning, students. In today's lecture, we will discuss an important theorem of measure theory, and this theorem is Hahn decomposition theorem. According to this theorem, if we take a signed measure nu on a measurable space X with sigma algebra B, then the set X can be written as the disjoint union of two sets A and B. Here A is positive set and B is negative. This pair AB, into which X has been decomposed, is called Hahn decomposition of X with respect to the signed measure nu. And this decomposition is unique in the sense, if we take two decompositions of X, the first decomposition of the sets A1 and B1 and second decomposition A2, B2, then the symmetric difference of A1 and A2, that is null set with respect to the signed measure nu. Symmetric difference means the union of A1 minus A2 and A2 minus A1. Now, in order to prove this theorem, by definition, because nu is signed measure, so it assumes at most one of the values. Either it will take plus infinity or minus infinity. So, without any loss of generality, we may assume that this signed measure nu does not take plus infinity value. Now, let us take lambda is the supremum of the measures of the positive sets, which are positive with respect to the signed measure nu. Now, because the measure of null set, that is 0, and therefore we can say that lambda will be greater than equal to 0. Now, by definition of supremum, we will have a sequence AI of the positive sets in the sigma algebra B such that the limit of the measures of the sequence AI, that will be lambda, as I approaches to infinity. Let us take A is the countable union of the members from this sequence. Now, because each AI in this sequence is positive set, and we know that countable union of positive sets is again positive, therefore A being the countable union of positive sets, that will be a positive set. Also, the measure of this set A, that will be less than or equal to lambda, because by definition we have taken lambda as the supremum of the signed measures of the positive sets. Now, we can write the set A as the disjoint union of the sets AI and A minus AI, taking signed measure nu on both sides. Now, the measure of union, that will be the sum of the measures if the sets are disjoint. Here the two sets A minus AI and AI, these are disjoint sets. So the measure of A, that will be the sum of the measures of the sets A minus AI and AI. Now, because the set A minus AI, that is the subset of set A, and A is positive set, and subset of positive set is again positive. So the measure of the set A minus AI, that will be greater than equal to 0. Now, because this is greater than equal to 0, so this expression will be greater than equal to measure of AI. So we can say that the signed measure of A, that is greater than equal to the signed measure of AI. And because this is true for each I, so that will be true for their supremum value also. So if we take limit as I approaches to infinity, here we get measure of A, that will be greater than equal to lambda. Now, because lambda is the supremum of the signed measures of the positive sets, so by definition nu of A, that will be less than or equal to lambda. Combining these two, we get measure of A, that is lambda. Now, because we are to decompose X into the union of two sets, one of which is positive and another is negative, we have obtained a positive set A. Now we are to obtain a negative set B such that X is the union of those two sets. So let us take B is the complement of set A. Clearly we can write X as A union B because we have taken B as the complement of set A. So A and B are disjoint sets. Now it remains to prove that the set B that is negative. We will prove it by contradiction. Let us suppose B is not negative. So if B is not negative, then B is positive subset of X. So we can take a measurable set D which is contained in B having positive sign measure. Now we will use the result here. According to this result, if E is measurable subset having finite positive measure, then it will contain a positive set A with positive sign measure. Here we can use this result for the set D. Here, because the set D is measurable and the measure of D is finite as well as positive, so by using this result, D contains a positive set E having positive finite measure. Now because the set E that is contained in D and D is contained in B, so from here we can say the set E that is contained in B. So from here we can say E intersection A that will be contained in A intersection B. Now A and B are disjoint sets, so E intersection A is contained in phi, so it means the set E intersection A that will be phi. It means E and A are disjoint sets. Now measure of A union E, because E and A are disjoint, so measure of union that will be same as the sum of the measures. Now measure of E is positive, so this expression will be greater than nu of A, and nu of A that is lambda, so we can say that the measure of A union E that is greater than lambda, but that gives a contradiction because we have taken lambda as the supremum of the measures of all the positive sets. So nu of A union E greater than lambda, this gives us a contradiction, and this contradiction proves that our assumption was wrong. So the set B that is a negative subset of X. Thus we have written the set X as the disjoint union of two sets A and B, one of which is positive and another is negative set. Now next we will prove the uniqueness of the decomposition, in the sense that if we take two decompositions of X into the pairs A1 B1 and A2 B2 with respect to the sign measure nu, then the symmetric difference of A1 and A2 that is a null set. So in order to prove this, let us take one of the decomposition of X as A1 B1. Here A1 is positive set and B1 is negative set, and these two sets are disjoint. And another decomposition of X we have taken as the pair A2 B2. A2 is positive, B2 is negative, and these two sets are disjoint sets. Now let us find A1 minus A2. Now from here you can see that A2 that is the complement of B2, so we can write A2 as the complement of B2. So A1 minus B2 complement, it means A1 intersection B2. Now because intersection of two sets is contained in both sets, so A1 intersection B2 that is contained in A1 as well as B2. Now being contained in A1 and A1 is positive set, subset of positive is again positive, so A1 intersection B2 that is a positive set. Also being the intersection, this set will also be contained in B2. B2 is negative set, so A1 intersection B2 being the subset of negative set is negative also. Now from here you can see that A1 intersection B2 is same as A1 minus A2. So we can say that A1 minus A2, that is positive as well as negative set. And we know that the set which is positive as well as negative set, that becomes a null set. So we can say that the set A1 minus A2, that is null set. Similarly, we can prove A2 minus A1, that is also a null set. So their union, that will also be a null set. And by definition, the union of these two sets, that becomes the symmetric difference of the sets A1 and A2. So the symmetric difference of A1 and A2, that is new null set. And this completes the uniqueness of the decomposition of X.